Is it really you who's deciding what you eat? Even when you're making, let's say, the wrong decisions, is it actually you who decided what to eat? Benjamin Hardy is an organizational psychologist who gave a TED Talk in 2019, which has gotten millions of views and is actually a TED Talk that I recommend to each and every client that works with me. In my Hebrew digital course, I recommend it and I put it as a link. And I'll actually add the link here in the description of my video that you can watch it too. I really think this is a TED Talk that everybody should see. He talks about his main subject is about that 100% decision is easier than 98%. But one of the things that I really love about this video, and I think are so important, one of the messages I think that are so important to hear, is that he talks about a phenomenon called decision fatigue. What he says is that when people aren't decided, then usually it is the situation that decides for them. And with food, this is so true because what happens is many times people will come to a situation, a food situation, right? Like a big buffet or a meal or a restaurant, and they're not really decided what they're going to eat or how they're going to eat or what it is. And then what happens is every single time there's like something pops up, they see a dish, dessert is served, right? Everybody talks about what they're going to eat, whatever. They have to make like many small decisions about what they're going to eat. Or at the office, am I going to take that cookie or am I not going to take the cookie? Am I going to have a piece of cake that they brought, to say goodbye to somebody? Or am I not going to take a piece of the cake? Am I going to have like the dessert that they're offering at the restaurant that I ate lunch at, or am I not going to have dessert? And every time that when we're not really decided about how we are, who we are, or how we're behaving around food, then many times what happens is that at the end, every time you make a decision about food, you have to spend a certain amount of mental energy deciding what you're going to do. Am I going to be a good girl or am I not going to be a good girl this time, right? Am I going to give in to my whatever, to like the temptation, or not going to give in to temptation and keep my diet? And then what happens is it's tiring. And this decision fatigue comes in. And then what he says, and this is so true, I see it so often, that then the situation is actually what decides how people will behave. So this live is about lowering, my tip to you is about lowering this decision fatigue, about making, when we make one big decision about what's going to be, then we don't have to make lots of little decisions about am I going to or am I not going to. And this is very important when it for people who want to eat healthy, especially because we have to learn how to how to navigate ourselves in a environment that is very obesogenic, that is very much against healthy eating. Like anybody who wants to really eat healthy consistently has to swim against the tide. And one of the ways to really preserve your energy to swim against this tide is to make big decisions so that regarding food situations, so that you don't get this decision fatigue every when you have to make many decisions over the course of the day. So I'm going to give you an example, okay? For example, maybe when you go to a restaurant, look at the menu before you go and decide in advance what you're going to eat. And then there you already know what you're going to have and what you're not going to have. Or for example, I many times tell people if they're at a big buffet, like I don't know about here in Israel, the hotels are famous for these huge continental breakfasts that they have at these hotels. And it really, like the amount of the tables are just groaning with food and so many choices, which is very nice. But on the other hand, for people like me, right, who food like lights up my brain like a Christmas tree. Like I'm a food addict, and this therefore I'm much more sensitive to that overstimulation of food. So then when I go to a big buffet like that, I'll first take a look around at all the choices that there are and then make a decision, one decision. what I'm going to have. And then it's not like taking your plate and then you get to the eggs and you decide if you're going to have eggs, and then you get to the pancakes and and then you get to the this, are you going to have fish, and then you get to the that, are you going to have cheese, and like it's like all these, even somebody who's eating healthy, maybe there will be too many food choices to have. And then there many times what happens is that we end up making decisions that we didn't really mean to make, or the situation decided for us. So this is very important. Sometimes I'll decide that I don't know what's going to be there and I don't want to have to decide, and I'll eat beforehand and go to like a party full and just drink there and enjoy the company. And then I know that I'm not busy with all these decisions about what I'm going to eat or what I'm not going to eat. That happened to me exactly today. Okay. We had like a sort of like a potluck supper to say goodbye to our neighbors who are moving away. And I decided that I don't want to go there and see what if I can eat the things, I can't eat the things because I don't eat sugar and flour. Will I have food choices there? Will I not have food choices? I just ate like my supper, my dinner beforehand. And then I don't get into this decision fatigue, right? So even, you're going on vacation, if you go to work and you know that there's many things there that maybe many situations that can decide for you, and these situations are not good food decision situations, then maybe take your food with you so that you don't have that decision fatigue. This is also one of the things that about that 100% rule rather than 98%, right? If I make one big decision, I do eat only real food. I do not eat processed food. I do not eat sugar and flour. I made one big decision. So then I know that I act in alignment with that decision, right? Rather than having to make a decision each time, and I'm going to have that dessert or not going to have that dessert. So I hope that especially now, I mean, we're going into a month of Jewish holidays where there's a lot of festive meals. It's August. Many people are on vacation now or traveling. So during these times, especially times when you're outside of your routine, when you're going to an occasion where you know that there's going to be a lot of food choices, or maybe there's going to be a lot of food stimulation, try to make a big decision about how you're going to act with that food, rather than leaving yourself to make a lot of little decisions over the course of that day or situation or party or whatever it is. And then you don't stand that risk of decision fatigue setting in. And then it's the situation that will decide for you rather than you deciding for yourself. So, and you know what? I'm saying this also for people who do eat maybe here and there, cakes or special dish. Make that decision, not that the situation decided which special, dish you're going to have, but you decide. And then you'll see that many times it will stay within the limits that you set for yourself, rather than like something just like, and then coming out and saying, oh, why did I eat that way? And I shouldn't have, and I was a bad girl and I broke my diet, and all that chatter that just, right, makes everything go kablooey. Make your decisions. Make big decisions, one big decision rather than lots of little decisions. And then you will see that you will be the one that decides and not the situation. So I hope this helps you, especially in these times when we're a little bit out of a routine. Have a great day, a lovely evening. Don't forget to check out all the special options and offers that are here in the description of this video, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and like and share this video. And I will see you next week on Zippi Live. Bye-bye.